Okay, we should be live now. So, hello and welcome to FTRL Formula Performance for round 2 at Brazil for season 4. Once again, I am joined by Zach. Say hello. So, today, as you can see, obviously it is intermediate conditions, so we could that could throw a spanner into the works. Could see a few people sliding off into the wall, maybe. Um, Damage is obviously going to be something that we could see quite a bit of, and thankfully I actually have engine sounds straight off and don't need to leave and join back or anything. Yep. Yeah, cannot get quite slippery. Because on one hand you want to be flat out, but on the other hand you can't necessarily be flat out in the rain without the back end stepping out. So it is going to be interesting. No need to actually push it in quali. So yeah, if it were in the race, it might be a bit of a different story though. Yeah, also in F2, I was driving in F2 at the start of the race. It was raining and it was slippery, but dry tires were the best tire until the rain kind of just dried out, so it can happen. Yeah, as we're talking about that, we see Aaron Taylor go pole with an 18.8. Cat just behind him with a 19.3. As Oxy there improves, well, goes quicker than Aaron, and he puts in an 18.7. Most people will be probably taking their time with these laps, just to get a lap in, get a banker in, and then later on the times will probably start getting quite a bit faster. But for now, Oxy is your provisional pole sitter. 6 more people yet to cross the line. Zumpy goes third there, and flying from in fourth with an 18.9 and 19.0 each. So, well, respectively. Yeah, a few more people on their laps yet to complete them. As you see, Lay Cole at the final corner, sliding, nearly going off track. He's going to be coming up to the line now in the Ferrari, so we should expect a good time. And actually, he pulls into the pits, so he must have got invalidated or something like that. So unfortunate for actually, he did set time. I'm not sure how he did, but he did. Yeah, especially with the rainy conditions, you're going to want all the downforce you can get, and the Red Bull is obviously good at that kind of thing, so um, they will get benefited for that. Yeah, everyone has now set a time apart from onto the podium that hasn't actually been out of the pits yet. So maybe he's waiting for the end. Maybe the reason for that might be that it's meant to dry up at the end. So I don't know. There could be a few reasons, but yeah. You were talking about blue flag. Like if you probably like a minute ago. Blue Flags put in an 18.7 and put himself third in the grid, so the two Red Bulls first and third at the moment. Yeah, no, I don't think you were wrong. It's in sector 2. Yeah, I'm not I can't speak being 100% correct, but it looks like it's getting a little bit heavier, and it looks like the Inters aren't doing as well as they were at the start. Although Cat does actually have damage though, so that might be why he's, yeah, yeah, he's out now. Okay, so as there's now a yellow flag in sector 1, 2, only momentarily though, so maybe someone just kind of, actually it might be people just slowing down. There is that element of quality, so.
So, if anybody doesn't know, my PlayStation broke last night, and I've just had a new PlayStation, and I've just done a Pagani, and not had my voice on to share. So, I've kind of Pagani's jinxed me by doing it last week. So sorry that you couldn't hear me for the last
Oh,
10 so minutes. So thank you, whoever it was in the chat. So it was Ravers. Thank you, Ravers, for telling me.
oh, okay, that was interesting. Glad that that got sorted out. Because I
I
didn't
didn't
know.
even realise.
I just kind of assumed it was on. So
Yeah, it was on, but my PlayStation kind of had a bit of an issue, so I'm on my new one now. Yeah, so
okay,
anyway, that's all sorted out. So Zumpy retired. In the
yeah,
session. What happened to Zumpy?
probably one of the yellow flags. I'm not actually 100% sure. I didn't catch it, so
Leslie's just spot the rain's getting heavier now, so that's going to be the fastest time, which might make a little bit of a boring end to qualifying if it does happen that way, or hopefully it doesn't.
yeah.
Qualifying.
T Smith just went. Well, not just went, but he has went third with an 18.6. 3 tenths off, over 3 tenths off Jesper in the Red Bull, although he is an Alfa Romeo, so there is going to be that gap between the two cars. But it looks like a pretty good lap from T Smith,
Yeah.
considering
It does seem
he's
to be
in the
quite a
Alfa.
bit closer than last week, the time wise. Because last week there was a bit of a gulf, and feeling as though Oxy's just went and improved his time by 4 times, and so Jesper improved by a tenth as well. So maybe it's still getting a bit quicker out there.
Yeah,
Aaron's
let's
on a good lap
see.
as well. He's just coming into the end. Nope, never mind. He's went into the pits.
Yeah,
Hello.
we'll go on board with Flying From. He's starting his lap currently on a 19.8. He will be looking to improve on that. Looking at the fact that Oxy did an 18.0 in the Toro Rosso, you would assume that the Renault could do something similar at least. So gonna stay on board with them. I'm not actually sure what corner numbers these are, but get okay. He's in sector 2 at the moment. This looks tidy enough so far. He's a little bit slidey coming out of the tight left-hander, a little long left-hander as well. Now coming up to the final corner, he's had to correct his car a little bit. It's going to compromise him all the way down to the end of his lap, and he's actually pit. So maybe he was
Yeah,
actually on
most
an
people.
in lap, and I didn't realise.
Most people are going into the pits, to be honest. I think Pagani might go into the pits because he's going into the pits. His first sector wasn't very good, so I think Pagani's going to go into the pits, which would mean near enough everybody's heading into the pits.
Well, he is an overtake, so he might not.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
he
looks
is
like
going to finish the lap. And where
maybe
is
he's
he going
going
to
to do
put
another lap.
him? He doesn't improve.
He must be going to do another lap because he was about 4.5 seconds down, so he might have been saving. Well, he's not got as much ERS. He's still got 50% left of, but he's not. It should be enough to go for the lap. And in the wet conditions, it's probably not as powerful in the wet conditions because it's more just about getting on the traction in wet conditions. So it might not be as big an issue not having as much ERS.
Yeah, ERS obviously a lot easier to save in the wet. You can
Oh,
probably, I'd say you could use probably overtake as he goes very wide there, so that's
yeah,
pretty much the
he
end of his lap.
invalidated that. He invalidated it in the last corner because he quite a bit. It's an easy corner to do that. It's much better to take the inside line for that corner. So if you just go over that curb, then it straight away invalidates it.
Yeah,
So
as I was saying, before he kind of spun off the track or semi-spun, since it is the intermediate conditions, you could probably do most of the lap in high. I doubt that you'd really need to use medium, so ERS
yeah,
management is certainly going to be a little bit easier, at least for quali. If the race is anything similar, we'll see. It would make for an interesting race if there was intermediate or even full wet. If it was full wet, then imagine what turn 1 would look like.
yeah. The first few corners in Brazil can be a bit of an issue at the start of the race because it's one of those very twisty sections which can cause quite a lot of issues. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get a clean start. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
So yeah, it is much closer this week. I mean, there's 1.2 seconds covering first to 15th. So that's very very good. They are very close in track this time, which should make for an interesting race.
Yeah, current pole sitter still Oxy, of course. He might want to think about getting out soon because quali's nearly over. But yeah, current pole sitter is Oxy. Jesper in second in the Red Bull. Third is COE Andy, who was on outlap coming up to start his lap. T Smith in fourth. He's seems to be starting a lap,
We
although
did
he's
say at the
weaving.
start that the Red Bull's aerodynamics might be quite helpful in the wet. It looks kind of similar for the Toro Rosso. So the Honda cars are very high up there. So we get, the 4 Honda cars are in the top 5 at the moment, which you probably wouldn't have thought going into this session. Probably Toro Rosso's definitely not, I wouldn't say, the best car for Brazil, but they both are very high up there, so that's a bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah. Um, I don't think T Smith is on Lapis. Flying Frome
Aaron's,
splits T Smith and Blue Flag. He goes fifth, and
Aaron's on
Aaron
fourth,
Taylor
yeah.
goes fourth. So the two Renaults showing a little bit of pace right at the end.
Oh, yellow flag. Who is having an issue? No, oh, they're good. So blue flag is on a lap at the moment. We'll see if he improves. I would expect the blue flag to be quite up there in this race. I wouldn't rule him out for a podium tonight, but we'll see how
As
this
he
lap goes.
has
Oh,
a little bit of an opposite lock there almost.
yeah. Still, Panda's in ninth in the Williams, which is, I mean, I don't know. I imagine he'd be very happy with that if he stays ninth. Not
Yeah,
a
eight
bad
tenths off the pole time in Williams. I'd take that.
very, yeah, definitely. So Rom's not looked like the racing point by the looks of it. Niels isn't up there either, which is a bit surprising. So maybe the racing point isn't going very well round Brazil. He is on a lap, but I thought the racing points might do a bit better because of their straight line speed. Is much better than, for example, the cars up at the top at the moment.
It's kind of a um, it's a bit of a more downforcey track, but obviously the two straights can, if you have a car that's quick in the straights, you can kind of compensate for the time lost in the corners. And you were saying the not the Force India, the racing point should be pretty good around here, and I wouldn't really disagree either because in the corners it's not too bad, and obviously it's got the Mercedes package,
Oh,
so.
Aaron's. Oh, he's going the wrong way. Ah, yeah. We must have had a bit of a spin. Jesper's on the
Oh,
lap,
might
and
want to be careful. There's someone coming up behind them.
he was disqualified, so it was Ghost Car that did that.
Ah, oh yeah, he
Jesper is
was.
on a decent lap. He's come to the end. Jesper's 2.5 tenths up, so if he keeps it clean for the last corner, which he does, this I'm expecting could be pole by Jesper.
A blue flag puts it on pole in the Red Bull, and now
Yeah, I
his
thought that.
Red Bull teammate Jesper's gonna come up as Oxy actually puts it back on
Oh, he
pole.
didn't. He didn't do his.
Jesper
He
improves by
lost a
a
bit of
little
time.
bit, not enough though to challenge for pole.
Very good showing by the Red Bulls and the Toro Rossos.
Yeah. Are we waiting? We're actually waiting on Nicole, who I don't think he improved there.
Strangely, I just realised I didn't have engine sound during that qualifying session. Don't know how that happened. Usually I do. Anyway.
So for round two at Brazil, your qualifying is as follows. Oxy is on pole, followed by Blue Flag and Jesper both in the Red Bulls. T Smith in fourth in the Alfa Romeo. Fifth is Andy. Sixth Flying From. Seventh is Pagani. Eighth is Cat. Ninth Niels and Panda in the Williams rounds off the top 10. Then we have Zombie onto the podium, Junkie Sport, Cole, Ron Ellison, and Aaron Taylor, who unfortunately was disqualified. I'm not sure how deserved that disqualification was,
Yeah.
but
So basically,
unfortunately he'll be starting last today.
I can explain the Aaron situation by looking at the stream, the chat on the stream. So basically, what happened was he spun, and he tried to stay. Obviously, as you spin, obviously he's probably been facing the wrong way. He's been trying to stay out the road of oncoming cars, and because he's not went straight on and went the right way, the game I think has got a countdown of you facing the wrong way. So if you're facing the wrong way for a certain period of time, then it automatically disqualifies you. So even though he tried to stay out of the way of cars and all that, and he's gone the wrong way, that's why it's disqualified him, because he's not tried to turn around, but obviously he's been trying to avoid other cars.
Yeah,
Bit of a silly rule.
so he's been disqualified through no fault of his own, really. Just trying to look out for other cars.
Yep. So Aaron's going to have to do a bit of a comeback drive here, but I mean his pace didn't look too bad there at all. So who are we expecting for the top three then? What's your prediction?
Hmm. Well, Oxy's out of the Williams, so I'd
Yeah.
expect him to take the win. Um, I'm not sure about my second and third. I need to see the grid, but um, the two Red Bulls, obviously starting second and third, they're looking pretty good, but that might be partially because it was raining in quali. Obviously, it's a little too bright, to be honest, for the race. It looks like there's a massive glare in the first few turns. But I'm gonna say second COE Andy and third Flying From.
So, I'm gonna go for Blue Flag to win. I'm gonna go for Jesper to be second, and I'll go for. I don't even know. I'll throw in a Pagani at third. So Blue Flag, Jesper, Pagani.
Hmm. Oxy problems in the race then, you think?
Um, yeah, I think the Toro Rossos might be better because it's wet. I don't know if I can see them staying up there in Toro Rosso around Brazil. I could be proven wrong. But I don't know.
So
I'm
you're
not
going for a
expecting.
Red Bull 1-2, and I'm going for a Toro Rosso 1-2.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Here we go. I've
We'll
went for
see.
it. I mean, I got the podium right in the pre-season race, so it's all going to go downhill. I'm going to be terrible from the rest of the season and performance.
Yeah, the like 14th, 15th, and 16th are gonna get 1, 2, 3 now.
Probably. So, um, here we go. Hopefully, it's a clean start. As I said, you can have some issues at turn one and turn two around Brazil. It's very tight. So Aaron Taylor's right at the back. My
And
camera
luckily,
angle.
you've actually got a good camera angle straight off the bat.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we have 5 lights at Brazil, and the 5 lights are out, and away we go, and it looks like Blue Flag has got a very good start there. Although he's now under pressure from Jesper coming into the first few turns, 2 Red Bulls now going side by side,
Coming off the
battling
back.
for P2. Looks like maybe problems for Zumpy further down the
Dumpy,
field.
yeah. Dumpy's it off at the first corner.
Now 3 wide between the 2 Red Bulls, and that's T Smith. T Smith gets past Blue Flag there, and he's up into third. There's a
Oh, a
massive
lot of cars
crash in
off.
the
Oh,
background,
and he's went into the. So
and
I
there's a
think
Force
Niels,
India out
yeah,
there as well. Niels is out.
Niels, he spun
Um,
and he went into a Ferrari. Don't know if any of the Ferraris have lost wing because it was quite a big impact. But I think he kind of went into the side pod. So hopefully there's no.
yeah, that was an almighty crash, and of course, almighty crashes. They don't deserve safety cars, so won't be seeing one of them today.
Basically, you need a car to be about 10 feet in the air to get a safety car in this race, I think.
Yeah, I've
Well,
seen in other races, it's usually the way it happens is that someone just kind of goes slow off the circuit where they're completely not endangering anyone, and then you get a safety car. But anyway,
a move there by Panda's up to 7th, and oh no, sorry, Pagani's just. There's a bit of a battle going on for 7th at the moment between Panda and Pagani.
yeah, now Panda's getting put under pressure by Laycole as well. He's gone down the inside, and it's gone. It's a pretty standard move, and he's up into 8th place. So Panda just lost 2 positions in only a few
Yeah,
corners, and now
Panda's on the
Laycole's
hards.
having a look at Pagani there as well.
Yeah, Panda's on the hard tyres. Cat's in the pits. He's coming out on the hards. Zumpy's coming out on the mediums, so I think Zumpy's probably going to 2-stop. Maybe Cat and Rom are going to try and go to the end. I mean, I
Oh,
don't
and
know
there's
how
Taros around. That's Andy.
Oh yeah. Oh, and someone's went into the back of him there. Someone. Who was that?
That's very unfortunate for him. He was
I
looking
think
pretty
someone.
good. I think he was up in 5th.
Yeah, yeah, he was up there, definitely. So
But
that
there
puts
goes my podium.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. So we'll get Jesper on the mediums, who's on second. It's not bad. I mean, usually it's a one stop. I'm not sure if the hards will go to the end from here, to be honest. But we'll see. Pagani's very close to Lico. Pagani's making a move on Lico down to
Yeah,
turn
T.
four.
Smith just made a move on Jesper as well while you were saying that. Now T. Smith can start chasing after Oxy, who's got a little bit of a gap as well, 2.5 seconds in the early stages, which is quite good for him.
I think Panda's struggling on those hards in that Williams. He's went down about 4 positions in the last lap or two. So I think Panda's logic is just to go very, very far to the end and maybe just put on the softs at the end, maybe.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can do mediums to softs around here pretty comfortably. So interesting choice with the hards. Maybe he feels that his tyre wear
Flying Frumes overtook Blue
won't be
Flag.
able to handle it. But
Then it's a turn one.
yeah, actually most of the top 10 opted for softs over mediums.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah.
I mean, they are going to be obviously completely fresh, untouched softs, but I would have thought that they would have gone for mediums to be quicker at the end, but most people opting against it.
Zumpy's making a move in Cat down at the 13th place. These three all had to pit at the end of lap one, like due to wing changes. But Zumpy looks to have... Yep, Zumpy's got the move done.
Yep, up into 13th place, and now he's got a very big gap to Andy, so I'd be expecting these two to just kind of fight all race because they've no one else to fight, really. They're kind of in a world of their own.
Yeah, unless there's a safety car, it's quite difficult to pull that gap up from the back of the field. So at the moment, Flying Froome's very close to Jesper.
Yeah, Flying From's going down the inside of Blue Flag, or defending, I'm not actually sure which, but Flying From is now in third. Now Blue Flag is going to get some slipstream and DRS, and he's going to go around the outside now.
Jesper just kind of sits back. Oh, he's went off the track actually. Panda's pace isn't that bad considering he's on the hard tyres. I mean, even though he's lost a few positions on the hard tyres, he's maintaining the pace with the guys in front of him who are all on softs. Speaking of that, Junkie Sports just went very, very wide in that corner.
Yeah, it is actually, to be fair to him, in the Williams on the hards, it is quite good pace.
Jesper looks like he's going to make a move into turn one. I'm flying for him, he's very close to the back of him. Though he's not really gained much. Maybe a bit far back actually.
Yeah, he hangs back for now.
Aaron's in the pits. Oh, he's lost. I think he's lost the left part of his front wing.
Yeah, now the two Red Bulls chasing down the Renault. No one really close enough to be making a move, though.
Aaron's in the pits. He's lost his front wing somewhere. I think we missed that. Don't know if he's had an incident of a wall or he's hit someone at the start. But I don't think he had front wing damage at the start. I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, and on goes the hard tyres, so it looks like he's going to be trying to go to the end.
The third place battle at the moment is looking a bit interesting. They all seem, from third to fifth, look very closely matched. Red Bulls and Flying Froome at the moment.
Yeah, Oxy now with a 3.3 second gap. So he looks to be doing the business up in front. Doing what he needs to do to get away. Then from second to fifth, there's just kind of following Um, in a kind of little train, really.
Yep, FTRL train.
Yeah.
Oxy's pulled up quite a bit of a gap. 3.4 seconds, which over 6 laps is, well, 7 laps, sorry. Well, cool, Andy's just sped into the pit lane, so he's got a 5 second penalty. Is he changing his front wing? That could explain the Aaron front wing damage. Because I don't believe they both had front wing damage at the start. So I don't know if there's been a bit of a coming together between Coande and Aaron. That could explain the front wing changes.
Um, looks like Pagani might be getting a bit of a better exit. He does get a bit of a better exit on Lake Hole.
A great exit he got there.
He'll have DRS and Slipstream coming up to turn 1. He pulls to the right hand side of the track, but Lake will actually covers him off quite well, and he has to stick behind for a little bit longer.
Junkie Sport's on the back of onto the podium as well. At the moment he's only 4 tenths behind as well, so we'll get quite a lot of battles. Jesper is very, very close to the back of Flying From as well. There's only 3 tenths separating the 3 cars. Oh,
yeah, there's a Ferrari getting attacked, and there's a Ferrari attacking, and they're not too far away from each other.
It's a track that does promote very good battles. Oh, who's the yellow flag? What's happening? I don't know. Wait, anyway. Oxy's now got 4.6 seconds. I don't know if T Smith is beginning to struggle. I feel like he's dropped back because he was out of DRS zone from Froome, but in the last few laps, I think they've all kind of just closed up.
Yeah, blue flag is now closing up on Jesper. Down the start finish straight, Jesper goes to the right, blue flag down the inside of him, and that's a pretty easy move. I mean, that is also softs versus mediums, and the cars were the same, so pretty standard move for blue flag, and he's up into 4th place.
Where, I mean, the softs will go off. Probably, what would you say about? I wouldn't say too far from now, to be honest. I think the softs will go off. Probably about lap.
I'd say
12, 13, probably.
I'd say since they're fresh as well, I'd say they'd probably be going off lap 15 around there.
Yeah.
Because one stop is what most of these guys are going to be doing from softs to mediums, and they'd probably pit around lap maybe 16, 17 at the most to make sure the mediums can go the rest of the distance.
If Lico can close in on Jesper, I mean, between 2nd and 10th, the gaps are tiny. So
yeah, something to think about as well. Lake is slowly catching this fight for 2nd as well.
We have quite a large train very shortly.
And onto the podium isn't that far off Pagani, so if he closed that gap a little bit, then we could see like 8 cars in a train for 2nd place.
Yeah, and T Smith has kind of caught Oxy by about a second in the last lap or 2, and Oxy just got a penalty. This is a track that you can get penalties at. Some of the curbs are quite nasty in terms of getting you, particularly turn 2. Well, turn 2 exceeding track limits is quite a easy one to get penalties at. So I think penalties is something that could decide this race at the end of it.
Yeah, it is actually a fact that I didn't really think about. I mean, one penalty for Oxy could cost him the win, because if you added the 3-second time penalty, then he's only like a 10th in the lead, so could
T Smith is catching slowly to Oxy. There's Froome got his first penalty as well.
Yeah,
Jesper's doing quite well though on those mediums to hold up. So, I mean, if he's obviously going to stay out a lot longer than the softer runners, so um, he could be someone to watch at the end of this race. He's obviously he's going to go into the net, the lead at the when everyone else comes in. So if everyone else is battling behind him, then Junkie Sport. Oh, what's happened? Oh, he's off at turn 5 or 6. It's the end of sector 1. It's that. It's ended up on the outside of the corner.
yeah, I haven't been able to see it.
I think he was close to onto the podium, but I was kind of too busy looking at the almighty train that's happening from second downwards.
Yeah, I'm on board with Aaron to see if I can see his car anywhere.
No, I think
No.
it's on the end of sector 1, so it's probably Rob Elson. Have a look at Rob Elson. I think you'll see it at the turn 5. Okay. So Jesper's outside of Blue Flag's DRS range now, so Jesper's kind of losing a bit of time. So he's kind of getting away from the DR. And the thing is, with Brazil, if you are in DRS range, it's very difficult to. If everyone's in DRS range, it's very difficult to overtake anybody. Because you're all kind of going at the same pace in a straight line. So
Yeah, I wouldn't actually be counting out Jesper to get a second, although T Smith is pulling away from this train very slowly. Or sorry, T Smith is pulling away slowly, or he's not now. Well, he was.
yeah, it was.
With him being on the mediums, he's going to end the race on the softs. If he can stick with this train for his first stint, we could end up seeing him take a pretty easy second place.
They are very, very closely matched on pace, the front, from second to fifth so far. I don't really see that changing much. I mean, they've been sitting in DRS range for quite a while now, and the undercut here could be quite handy. I mean, if, say for example, Blue Flag comes in the pits before T Smith, Blue Flag could jump quite a few cars. So I mean, the undercut might be something that might be going through some other minds right now. Oh, that was happened to Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron's out.
Sector 3. That's a strange place, isn't
It looks like it happened on the straight, or maybe into the pit lane. Because I was on board with I think Andy, and he kind of passed Aaron. I didn't see him. He was going on the straight, so
very odd.
Yeah. Flying Frome is getting attacked by Blue Flag into turn 1. Blue Flag's gonna have the inside for turn 2, and he's gonna have to hang it around the outside for turn 3. He gets a little bit of a tank slapper, and now he's gonna be under pressure from his teammate now. As he pulls to the side to kind of break the slipstream.
He was quite close to. I think Pagani was just behind him, so Lee called come into the pits first. And he's onto the mediums, so
yeah, he'll be taking them to the end.
We should be seeing kind of second to fifth coming in, second to fourth kind of coming in out now. So it'll be whoever's first to kind of blink. Then I think everyone else will kind of come into the pit straight after that, because the undercut, I think he will be have quite a big advantage. So I imagine one of them might come into the pits this lap. I kind of come to the end of it now. Yep.
Yeah, a few of them were in. Blue Flag stays out, which could end up, well, it won't actually concern different strategies. So who pit there? Was it just Flying Frome?
Yeah, I think it was just Flying Frome. Yeah.
Oh, an undercut on T Smith could actually work out a treat for him, because
T Smith is still closing in Oxy as well, by the way. So that gas went down from 4.6, I think it was at its peak, It's now at 2.6. So I don't know if that Toro he kind of used up too much of his tires at the start. I think he might be struggling a bit now.
He might also be maybe saving a bit. Because maybe he's like, well, I have a little bit of lead, so I may as well save
Yeah.
save a bit of fuel, save a bit of ERS, so if they do catch me, then I'll be able to defend a bit better.
So it'll be interesting to see if Blue Flag or T Smith comes in at this end of this lap.
You would expect them to respond
Yeah,
to flying from,
definitely.
and he stays out, and
Yeah.
so does
T
Blue
Smith.
Flag.
T Smith went to the pits. No, he didn't. Hmm.
So
Maybe
yeah,
the
people
tires are a little bit better shape.
wanting to extend their stints so they can be quicker at the end and also be a bit more reassured that their tires will go the distance. Um, it'll work out in Flying From's favor in the short term because he will obviously jump them because he's going to be going quite a lot quicker than them right now. So we'll see how good track position is. But at the moment, the top runner is still not pitting.
Yeah. Jesper's not. I mean, I expected Jesper to be a bit closing in a bit more now because he's on the mediums, but maybe the softs are holding up a lot better than we anticipated. Because they are going. I mean, this is definitely the crossover point right about now. So, I mean, the mediums are easily go 20 laps, very
Yeah,
easily.
and Blue Flag comes in, and he will be
Yeah,
getting undercut on T Smith. T Smith stays out another lap, and
Jesper
so
probably.
does Oxy.
Jesper
So
can go into the pits because obviously.
actually, something to think about. Flying From could be putting Oxy's lead under pressure because he
Yeah,
was like 3 seconds back before the pit stops, like maybe 3.5. He's
yeah,
been
yeah, he
catching
was.
him constantly for the past 2 laps, and it'll be another extra lap that he'll just be closing that gap down. So we might see a change
Actually,
in the lead
blue
after
flags
Oxy
come out
pits.
ahead of Broom still. So blue flag. Wait a minute, was flying from not ahead of blue flag? I'm sure he
Um,
was. Yeah,
yeah, he was.
flying from is in
Flying
third.
From was behind T Smith.
Oh, so the overcut
So
has worked.
yeah, Blue Flag's
He's
yeah,
jumped him.
that
Well,
was and he'll be quicker. He's got 2 laps fresher
aye.
tires as T Smith comes in and Oxy stays out yet another
So
lap.
I wonder where T Smith is going to come out. If the overcut is working, then will we see blue flag come out ahead of T Smith?
He's allowed to come out of the pit lane now. We see in the background Blue Flag coming through the first couple of corners now. It's going to be close between them, and he's actually got out ahead.
Yeah, he has.
Blue Flag has
Oh,
jumped him,
he's
and
lost his front line.
yeah, T Smith has got wing damage.
Oh
Coming out of the
no!
pit, we were talking about it in quali, and
No!
now Flying From's down the inside.
Oh, it's a disaster. Oh no! It couldn't happen at a worse time. I mean, if you're going into the pits, then it's fine because, but coming out of the pits, oh, it's
Yeah, that's
easily done though.
unfortunate for him. And
Not an
he'll
easy
be
pit lane to
only
win.
losing time now for the rest of the Grand Prix unless he decides to pit again.
Yeah, definitely. So blue flag has managed to jump 2 cars. Um, so yeah, quite a strange one. Oxy's in the pits, so that puts Jesper into the lead, and a Williams in third. Now, someone take a screenshot because that might be the only time this season you might see a Williams in third. Sorry, second. A
Yeah.
Williams in second.
And he's also hmm,
I don't want to jinx it, but
If Jesper pits soon, we could see Panda leading this race, which would
Panda's
be a
doing
sight to see.
a miraculous race so far, Panda. Something I don't think we'd ever think we'd see a Williams in second place in performance. Yeah.
By the way, Blue Flag, with his undercut, he's gained about 1.5 seconds on Oxy. Obviously now Oxy's going to be able to pull away on fresher tyres, but the undercut did work a bit, but not quite
Yeah.
enough.
I think Pagani and Lico might be getting a bit bored of seeing each other's cars because they've been beside each other since like, lap 3 and they're still been a couple of times with each other. And I think Pagani's struggling to get past them though. Oh, who's that? What's happened? Nothing by the looks of it.
Might be a lapped car, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, I think it was because the racing point there is getting out of the way in turn 2, so go back a few seconds, then you would have been in the final sector. So
in terms of penalties, Blue Flag's just got his first. Froome has 3 seconds that I saw earlier, and so has Oxy. I've not seen one for Jesper yet. I don't know if you have.
no, I don't remember one for Jesper.
I don't think I've seen one for Panda either. Lico's definitely got a penalty, and I think Pagani got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So has Andy. I saw that as well. So other than that, there's not been too many penalties so far. Which is, I mean, it's kind of one of the worst things. You don't want to happen a race decided in penalties. It kind of sucks when you lose a race in penalties.
Yeah. I would be expecting. Judging by the fact that most of the soft runners were pitting as Oxy gets past Panda pretty easily there, and now we can chase after Jesper. Judging by the fact that most of the soft runners came in around lap 16, I would be expecting Jesper to be pitting around now because there's only 15 laps left in the Grand Prix, and he would want to be making the most of his tires. So
yeah, I'd expect Jesper in a lap or two. Probably Panda might try and extend it a little bit more. Maybe just try and take a lot more out of the softer tires at the end by running it a little bit less.
yeah,
Pagani has still not got past Lico yet. Not sure it looks a bit closer this time. I think Lico's just had a little bit of a bad exit, so we might see if he keeps it cleaner, overtake into turn 1 maybe. Oh yeah, Lico's just had a massive
and Panda's in, and Jesper's in as well.
Oh, same lap. Yeah, Lico had a massive tank slapper there coming out of the final corner, which I think has made, yep, Pagani's got past Lico into turn 1.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with Jesper to see where he comes out. We should come out just ahead of Pagani and Lico, and he does just that. So now he's 4 seconds back from T. Smith. He's on obviously fresher tires, and he's on the faster tire as well. So expect him to be coming back at the end of this race.
He's got that wing damage on his front wing, his right end plate. So Panda's come out in 9th, only 2.3 seconds behind onto the podium, and with softer tyres I would be expecting Panda to, he's definitely going to, well, imagine he'd get 8th. Don't know if he'd be able to catch Pagani and Lico. Actually, Lico's must have got past Pagani again. Because Lico made a mess of the final corner and Pagani got past him.
Yeah, these two have been pretty much looking at each other all race, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
23
Jesper
laps.
has a 3-second penalty now, so I think that's second to second downwards have all got at least one penalty. Actually, first as well. Oxy's get a penalty as well. So
Jesper is now rapidly catching T. Smith since he's came out of the pit lane.
yeah, Zumpy's
He's
in the
caught
pits, so
about
squatty.
3 seconds now. So yeah, soft tires obviously they're meant to be faster, and he's making most of them at the moment.
Oh, Lee Cole's round.
Yeah.
Sector 2.
Hopefully, if anyone comes upon him, ghosting works.
Jesper has caught up with T. Smith, and he's on softer tyres. So, oh, and he's just put in the fastest lap as well. Oh, I think, yeah, I think Jesper may have locked up and went into the back of T. Smith there at sector 1. I think he's just kind of outbroke himself a bit there.
Yeah, it looks like T. Smith did come off a little bit. He hasn't actually got wing damage, Jesper.
Yeah. Is Jesper not? No.
Luckily. Yellow flags in sector 3. I
so
assume it was for lapped cars, and it's actually for Cat.
We keep getting a lot of yellow flags and nothing seems to be happening, which is quite confusing. So Jesper is very close to the back of T. Smith right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be expecting him to get past quite easily on the straight. As he goes right up there and nearly hits the back of T. Smith.
He's so much better drive off that thing.
Yeah, he's all over the back of him now. DRS and activation. Will he go left or right? He goes right. And he's gonna try and go around the outside. It's not he's not that much side by side though, and he's probably gonna T. Smith keeps it for now.
May
once
get into
again, he's gonna have a much better exit. It doesn't look like Jesper's running that much straight line speed. He's not really catching up in the straights as much as you'd want.
He broke a lot later there.
Yeah. And now he's up into 4th, and he can start chasing after Frome, who's 3.5 seconds up the road. But with 11 laps left and fresher...
Oh, onto the podiums round. Then to sector 1 out sector 2. I don't know if that was an incident with Panda, because remember Panda was in soft tyres and he was closing. But Panda's up to 8th, and he's only 1.6 seconds off Lee Cole, because Lee Cole had a moment around this particular corner they're going around at the moment, turn 7 or 8 I think that is, turn 7. So I would expect Panda to get past Lee Cole on the softer compound, and I think Panda would be very happy with, I mean even if he finishes 8th, I think Panda will be happy in the Williams.
Yeah, any bit of points is
yeah, in the Williams.
welcome in a Williams.
I mean that should be something we keep an eye on all season. How many
I
drivers
think
get
if someone told Panda before the race that he would be up in 8th, chasing after a 7th place, I don't think he'd believe you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he told Panda he was going to be running 2nd at one point, I think he might have died, to be honest. Definitely don't think he'd be thinking he'd be running 2nd. He's within a 2nd now, so he should get DRS. That's the closest battle at the moment, 8th to 7th.
Yeah, and Lake Hole goes a little deep, and Panda gets a little bit of run on him. He'll have the Mercedes engine in his back pocket, so that's something that he could use to try and boost himself to get past Lake Hole. He pulls to the right hand side of the circuit. Not enough side by side though to be able to keep it for the next few corners, and the exits you can just see that he's getting is just so much better than Lake Hole's, and now he's maybe going to pull to the left. He does pull to the left, down the inside. And he should get it. No, actually, Leiko covers it
Backs
off
out a
quite
bit
well, and he keeps the position.
there. So Ravers has just put, if Panda wins in the Williams, then we're just to give him the championship tonight. So I think that was when Panda was running second. Unfortunately, but it doesn't look like Panda will win tonight. But I mean, stranger things have happened in Formula One. You never know. I
Well,
mean, if there's a safety car,
I think for
then
Williams, this pretty much is a win.
yeah, might
Nearly
get
in 7th as well. He just needs
might get
to get
past
the right exit, really.
Zombie's getting a 3-second penalty. But I think he's safe from Coandi because I think Coandi's got 2 5-second penalties for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, Panda's gone around at the outside,
yeah,
and he's much more alongside him, and he gets the move up into 7th place, but it's going to
maybe can.
be Lakehole with the DRS, and now he's going to try and go back down the inside, and it may well work for him, you know,
Back.
and he does actually get it. So great battle we're seeing for 7th place, and Panda on the exit, so much more grip. He gets right up the back of Lakehole, nearly hits him, but keeps his
They've
front
both got
wing
no
intact.
ERS. They both get very little ERS left as well. So we'll see how this battle develops. I mean, Panda does look like he has a lot more pace than Lico at the moment, though. Lico's struggling with the exit of the final corner. So that, I mean, that's where he keeps having a few moments where I think he's just losing the back end a bit. Don't know, Panda might make the move this time.
Once again, he takes the outside line, and it doesn't seem to be that great of a line because most of the time, when he's used it, he's not been able to keep it side by side. So he might have to think about using the inside instead of the outside for turn 1.
Yeah, I think the reason we're seeing him kind of struggle to overtake, I think Panda might be running a higher downforce setup because obviously he is in the Williams, it's got terrible downforce, so you're going to have to kind of put as much downforce as possible in the car to get around the corners. I think that might be the reason that Lico kind of steamed past him in the DRS zone when he overtook him, so that might be a reason why he's struggling to get past him.
Yeah, he might have to close up, not go for the move in turn 1, get the better exit, and then go for it in turn 4. That might work out better. But
Closing up now.
yeah, Leiko once again defends to the inside. He once again goes for the outside, and he's not able to keep it around the outside. And once
Good
again, he
exit
has to stick behind. But now he's going to get a better exit. DRS inactivated at the inside.
He doesn't have the straight line speed. He kind of gets very close, but he's not got that pace that gets him past.
Yeah, and every lap these tyres that they're on are getting more equal as well, so...
Yeah. So, further up the field, I think that Flying Froome and Jesper are getting a bit closer to blue flag over the past few laps. Jesper's obviously on the softs. I don't know if blue flag's...
Oh, Leiko's made a mistake. He's off the track, is Leiko,
Yeah.
and now Panda
Well,
gets
corner,
through quite easily.
I
He'll
don't
be
think he likes
happy
that corner.
well, Panda will be happy that that happened.
He's in the
And
pits.
now Leiko into the pits. So, it looks like Panda's gonna get 7th, which,
Oh, and he's sped in the
you know,
pit lane as well.
Williams is amazing.
Yeah, Leaco's just sped in the pit lane as well. I mean, he may as well pit if he feels like his tyres are gone. I mean, you get how many points does he get for fastest lap? Is it 1 or 2? One, I think it's one.
It's 1 point for fastest
It's one.
lap and 2 points for pole.
Yeah. So I mean, if his tyres are that bad, he's got a big gap to Zumpy behind him, so he may as well just put on a softs and just try and see what the best lap time he can get. And I'd imagine he probably would get fastest lap, putting on softs at this stage.
Yeah, I don't really see anyone else going for fastest lap. The thing with the people lower down the field, if Lake Cole were to pit, he'd probably come out behind Andy. So going for a fast lap probably wouldn't be the best idea. Same with Zumpy. And Andy can't really pit because he's in 11th, so it's kind of a stalemate there for people going for fastest lap at the bottom of the field. Obviously Lake's put on the fresh set. He'll be going for it, and he'll most likely be the one who ends up getting it as well.
Yeah, probably. So in terms of penalties, all of the front 4 or 5 have all got penalties. T Smith has got 6 seconds, and I think the rest have got 3 seconds. So blue flag. One thing we might need to look at, Panda's 6.6 seconds, 6.5 seconds behind Pagani. Panda's not got any penalties, and Pagani's got 5 seconds for speed in the pit lane. So if Panda can gain another 1.4 seconds, then he'll have 6th. Anyway, oops.
The win just gets even better as Pagani and T Smith is in the pits now.
Yeah, and he'll now have 11 seconds of penalties. Is he have an issue? Oh, remember he had that front wing. He had a bit off his front wing from the
Yeah, he did.
Which puts Panda into 6th with the possibility of getting 5th.
Yeah, 4th is obviously off the cards, but 5th, I mean, in a Williams, I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Words can describe getting 5th in a Williams.
Jesper looks like he's very close to Froome going to the final corner. Froome's been on those tyres for 18 laps. I think they might be gone.
This deserves an interview, even though he's not going to be on the podium.
We do actually do. Everyone else has been doing, so you get an interview one extra person that's done a good race.
Well, that would be Panda. That's 100% Panda.
We don't mind, even if Panda retires at the moment, for getting second at Williams just for like those one lap, that's enough.
Yeah.
We should have just stopped the race at that point in time. So Jesper's really close to flying through him, and blue flag. First and second are kind of keeping pace with each other at the moment. So unless there's any more penalties.
Yeah, Lake Holder gets fastest lap.
And he's really close to T Smith.
T Smith will be challenging that though.
Yeah, they're both right beside each other because T Smith has got a lot more penalties though. I think he's got 11 seconds. I think Lee Cole's got 6.
Panda now needs to close 1.2 seconds in the next 3 laps. It doesn't look like that would be possible, but I kind of hope he does.
Yeah.
Just rooting for Panda now.
I mean, it's quite biased that we have 2 McLaren drivers in the comms. So there's no bias here whatsoever. Panda.
I didn't even know he drove for.
Yeah,
McLaren,
I'm F3. I'm the one who picked for F3.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
I never realised that until last week.
Jesper are going side by side, flying from fends off, or was he making a move?
So yes, he was.
Okay, then flying from makes a move up into 3rd place, and that's actually interesting because you would expect Jesper to be quicker, especially he's on 7 laps fresher soft tires. I mean, they are two different
Yeah,
compounds, but
Ruby's really
you would
struggling.
expect them
He's
to be
lost
quicker.
a couple of times to blue flag. I think he's lost about a second over the past few laps.
Yeah, once again they're side by side coming on the final, the start finish straight. And now Jesper's trying to come back at him. He's just looking down the inside. It is the better line into the first few corners, although Flying From keeps it on the outside, but he has to back out. He'll have DRS now, as I get a
Yeah.
horrible camera angle. And yeah, Jesper gets it back,
Pagani's got
and
extra
he's up
penalty.
into third place.
So Pagani's got 8 seconds of penalties, which would put Panda up to 5th.
How much does Flying From and Jesper have, or do they have any?
I think they both get 3, I think, when I checked. Lee Coles get quite a bit now as well. T Smith's get quite a bit as well. I think T Smith gets 11. Lee Coles get about 9. Off the top of my
Actually, I
head.
just realised we're on the final lap as well.
Oh,
So,
we have a habit in this.
Oxy's coming to claim his win. So, it's been a pretty quiet drive for Oxy out in
Yeah,
front.
very. Blue flag comes
Blue
in
flag,
second.
yeah. He brings it home in second, and Jesper in third. So it wasn't quite a Red Bull 1-2, but it was a Red Bull 2-3. So you weren't too far off with that
Yep.
prediction.
Okay, so
And I mean, you could cheat and say that Toro Rosso in English is actually Red Bull,
Williams,
but
Panda gets 5th. To possibly be one of the most remarkable drives we'll see in performance
yeah,
this
I
season.
don't think you'll ever see a Williams up in fifth ever again.
Oh no!
Savor this moment.
Honestly, that is ridiculous. Oh. Right. I think we might be putting Panda on the interviews.
Yeah,
Just a think, just a
Lakel
thought.
comes home to finish 9th, Zumpy in 10th, and then Andy a little bit further back in 11th. It was unfortunate for him, he had the incident at the start of the race, so
Yeah, Zumpy and Kohandy both had to pit at the end of lap 1, which kind of ruined both of their races. Well, that was an interesting race.
yep. So it is Oxy that takes the win. He took the win in pre-season, and now he's taken. I mean, I'm not sure if he counted it as a first win or a second win, but this season in Form Performance is his second win. So well done to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Oxy is obviously your winner today. Blue flag in second, and Jesper rounds out the podium. Flying From in fourth. Panda, amazing driving the Williams in fifth. Pagani in sixth, onto the podium in seventh. T Smith eighth. Lakel ninth. Sumpy 10th. COE Andy 11th, and everyone else being Kat, Romelson, Aaron Taylor, Junkie Sport, and Niels all retired or DNF'd. So, who would you choose as your driver today?
Oh, I wonder. Well, there was. I mean, it was a very clean race, particularly from the front. I mean, there's quite a few battles there. So I mean, in terms of battling, everybody did well there. I feel, but Bethany Williams is mind-boggling. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Panda as well. Yeah, that's I should have them. That's Oxy, Blue Flag, and Jesper. And Panda. Yeah. FTRL Jasper. And then Panda. Okay, I got all of them. So now we just kind of wait for them to join, and then we'll get the interviews underway.
Yep. Take it you want to you take the first and third. I'll take second and.
You can take the first interview, and then we'll go like that, I think.
Okay, no problem.
Just waiting on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
right.
in a.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start off with Oxy.
Yeah, Ricky. Oxy. I think your race was probably a bit unexciting for you, to be honest. It wasn't much happening. It's quite dominant. So how was that race for you?
Well, first of all, congrats to Panda, who managed to take the toothpaste car and bring it into the points. And congrats to Blue Flag also for being in the podium. In terms of the race, I don't know. The race was just managing the gap all time long. I mean, it was nothing but managing the gap. I was when Jesper got overtaken by T. Smith, it was just managing the gap. Then after the pit stop, it was just managing the gap to Blue Flag. And I could have done anything better. So I think that was the best result I could have ever pulled. And well, obviously the win. That's
Definitely.
as high as you can go.
I mean, I didn't actually expect you to be up there that far up in the Toro Rosso. So did the Toro Rosso suit that circuit? Was it all right car for that circuit?
Yeah. I mean, after seeing pictures of the performance, that it has the chassis and the aero isn't that shit. I figured I could be relatively easy in the podium if I just had a clean race, and that's exactly what I did and have had. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was quite a surprising we actually seen that many cars up there. I mean, I didn't expect to see the Toro Rossos that far up in this track. But next week it's Germany. So are you looking forward to Germany? How are you around there?
Well, the thing is, after this win, Connor is probably going to.
Williams.
Not probably. He is, and he will put me in the toothpaste car. So I don't know. Germany, it has. It should suit the Williams. I mean, there's a lot of low speed corners and a couple of good long straights. So I think points are definitely on the table.
Yep. Well, hopefully you do well next week as well. Congrats on your win.
Cheers.
Well, I'll take the second interview with Blue Flag. You obviously finished second, and you were pretty much up there the whole race. At the start, you were kind of running in fourth, and then after the pit stops, you you actually got the undercut on I think it was well, flying from tried to undercut you, but the overcut obviously worked out, and then T Smith ended up coming out behind you, and he also ended up getting wind damage. So that kind of gave you a bit of an easier second place, maybe. But how was the race from your perspective?
Yeah, like you say, the pit window was pretty handy. Overcutting Froome, undercutting T Smith, so gained 2 positions there. The first couple of corners were a bit dicey, going 3 wide down to turn 4. I chose survival in that matter. Just sort of backed out of it, let Froome and Jesper and T Smith go, and just sort of sat behind them, followed them round for a few laps until the pit stop shook out. Got a really stupid third corner cutting warning, which I'm absolutely kicking myself about, because that was the last warning I had all race, and if it wasn't for that I'd have probably stolen a win from Ox. But as it was, I'm happy with P2. And yeah, don't know what that's going to put me in next week, but hopefully the fact I'm an F3 driver will save me from something terrible.
Yeah, speaking of next week, it's Germany, as Zach said before. How are you? How was your pace overall? Forgetting about what car you might end up in around Germany.
It's a track I enjoy driving, to be honest. Pace isn't fantastic, it's pretty average, but it's a track I enjoy driving, so yeah. Just yeah.
Fair enough. Congratulations on your P2 and good luck for next race.
Yeah, well done to Ox on the win, and I've heard Connor and Andy speaking to the party, and the Williams is being mentioned, so good luck next week.
It's not good.
I don't know where to start with this interview. How? Maybe a good way to start. First of all, congratulations on 5th in a Williams, and also you didn't get any penalties. So how did you manage that in a Williams?
Yeah, he was the only one who finished to not get a penalty, by the way. So
yeah,
I think obviously that big sort of fairly long straight. I mean, it's fine in the Williams. You don't need to turn a corner, but I think in general Brazil has always been probably my sort of favourite track. It's probably why I didn't get many penalties, but I don't know really. I just managed to keep sort of trouble really.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to try and avoid most of the issues. At one point, you were actually running P2, which I think must be a massive surprise to be running in P2 for that kind of stage in the Williams. We nearly died when you were running P2 up here. We had a moment. But obviously, are you expecting to be in a similar kind of car next week, or are you hoping you'll get put up a little bit in a slightly better car?
I mean, I don't want to be in the Williams, but Connor likes to make me sad, so I think I probably will be in the Williams. But I mean, as Ox said, Germany has got a very long straight, so I suppose that is something to take from it. But who finished second in this race? Was it you, sorry?
Yeah, it was Simon, and third was Jesper. Yeah, Jesper.
Yeah. I'm a bit concerned then because it might end me again, but yeah, I mean, I do like form, to be fair, and if that many people keep DNFing or hurting or injuring each other's wings or something, then I might be able to get a couple of points again in it. Who knows?
Strangely, there wasn't actually that many issues by front wing damage or things like that. It was, I mean, there was someone hit their wing off the end of the pit lane, but to be honest, there wasn't that many retirements we seen. We don't actually really know where all the retirements happened. They kind of just kept happening, and we didn't really know what was going on. So we'll need to find out what happened. But so where are you hoping to finish this year? Obviously you won last week, so I think you'll still be top of the table. I think.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
I think
I mean, for the season, I've won it once before, so obviously, I suppose winning it once is it, that's the name again. I guess got good tough competition there. Got Pagani in there. He's a previous title Oxers winner. Div 1 title a long time ago. So yeah, there's some good competition in there. So it will be tough, but I'm hoping I can win it. I think if I'm going to do it, it will be in performance, not regular divisions, definitely.
Well, the race today was great to watch. It was a fantastic race to commentate on, to be honest. So well done to all three of you.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, so that has been round 2 for Formula Performance at Brazil for FTRL. I hope you all enjoyed the race as much as we did, and maybe we'll see you next week. Should be myself again with Zach.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. Definitely.
So you'll join us next week, me and Zach, for Germany round 3, and apart from that, good night.